right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus. It is time to react to the Vikings PFF scores, grades, whatever you want to call them, in the win, in the sweep over the Green Bay Packers. Before getting that, this video is brought to you by Mini Grown. No better way to start the new year nice and chilled than with some Mini Grown gummies or cocktails. Hit them up, promo code SKOL, get you buy one, get one. Mini Grown are blazing trails to a higher perspective. And again, nothing says Happy New Year like some delicious mini grown products. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the lowest graded. So what we do is look at the lowest graded defense, lowest graded offense, highest graded offense, highest graded defense, and see if we agree or disagree. Kind of like to compare just with how we saw the game, especially to our winners and losers video that we do every single week after the game. So let's start bottom five on the defense. Number 5 was Jonathan Bullard with a 48.7. I actually thought Bullard was decent. I don't know if he really racked up any stats. The run game for them was pretty well shut down. They did it going for over 100, but a lot of that was late in the game when it didn't really matter. Bullard he had 3 tackles combined, so I don't know. I didn't think he was horrible, so whatever. Again, I'm kind of indifferent on Jonathan Bullard's performance. The next one, Evan Pace Jr. grade out with a 47.1, and he did make our losers list just because, he had, 3 total tackles, and they were all assists, I believe. He gets back there in the backfield, and he shoots in on those run blitzes. He causes disruption, but he's just not hitting home. We need Ivan to start hitting home on some of these, start making some of these tackles to show why everybody loves him so damn much. And I do love the disruption, and I'm still going to apologize. I'm Evan Pace Jr. apologist till the day he's no longer on this team. But Ivan, you got to start hitting home, buddy. So Ivan Pace Jr. 47.1. That did line up with what we saw, how we saw that thing shake out. A lot of you in the comments and post game were not overly kind to Ivan Pace Jr., so you can't argue that one. Shaq Griffin with a 45.9. A couple plays where he was beaten and the Green Bay didn't complete the process. I think he was beaten, and they did complete it a couple times too. Just a little bit late, Shaq Griffin. So 45.9. I guess I can't argue that one. Stephon Gilmore. Gilly, I don't know. I guess I thought Palmer was the corner. Whatever. Our secondary wasn't great. When you let him come back like that, you got to shore some things up on the back end. Our secondary has been an issue. Gilly with a 40.6. Actually would have put Shaq Griffin lower than him, but whatever. He didn't have his best game, so hard to argue too much with that one. And then this one, the lowest graded player was Jerry Tillery with a 40.2. He had the nice pass breakup. I thought he was kind of in the middle of all the action there. So that one is a little bit confounding to me. I thought he would have had a higher grade, especially with the forced fumble on Josh Jacobs early in the game. You know what? Screw it. Let's stay on offense. Let's stay on offense, and let's do the top offense or top defense. We're on defense right now. Let's do the top defense. Stick with it. Seems like maybe I took some mini going before doing this video. Harrison Smith with a 65.8. He did have a couple nice plays. Had a near interception. He swatted the ball away once. It was nice having him back, and his presence was definitely felt. Cam Bynum was your 4th highest rated defensive player with a 68.2. I don't know. I don't remember seeing him make a whole lot of plays. What was his stats? 68.2 was in a super great grade, but he had 4 tackles on the day. No pass breakups. I don't remember him doing a whole hell of a lot other than doing the celebration there at the end. Your 3rd highest graded player was Jonathan Grenard with a 70.5. Grenard, he was in the mix. Did he have half a sack? I feel like he did. No, he didn't. He had pass defense. He had 3 quarterback hits. He had 2 tackles. So he was definitely harassing Jordan Love. So Jonathan Grenard with a 70.5. Hard to argue with that. Blake Cashman with a 79.5. 79.5 for an 11 tackle performance, a 1.5 sack and tackle for a loss, 2 quarterback hits. You didn't give him a 79. I don't know what else he's got to do. To me, that should be about 10 to 15 points higher. I like that he's 2nd highest graded defense player. I just think that number should be much, much higher. And the highest graded defense player for the Vikings win over the Packers was defensive tackle Harrison Phillips, who had not been kind to the last couple of weeks. PFF has been really all over his ass. But he gets an 80.5 for his performance against the Packers. Again, Josh Jacobs was held in check. We hold him to, what do we hold him? We hold Josh Jacobs to 69 yards. That is a win. So that was huge, 4.1 yards a carry. Again, Josh Jacobs is so damn good. So that was a good job by the D-line, and Harrison Phillips leading the way. Again, you go against the center like Josh Myers, not the hardest competition. He's struggling this year. So Harrison Phillips, what was his stat line? Just want to check. 6 tackles. So Harrison Phillips coming back. He's kind of came back from an injury, didn't play great, got a little bit better. Now he's starting to play at the level he was earlier in the season. I think the first time we played the Packers, he was a beast. All right, let's go to the offensive side, and let's start with the bottom-ranked defensive players because we love to end on a high note here in the Onebar and Lupagus show. All right, so your bottom 5 graded Vikings on offense. Number 5 was Aaron Jones with a 63.5. There was some running room early. The Packers kind of shorted that up, and then I think he got something was tweaked there, something with his leg. I think he was starting to cramp or contusion or something. Anyway, they took him down. So 63.5. I don't know. I want to put him as one of the bottom 5, but it's not a horrible score. Brian O'Neill to 62. I don't know. The old line was pretty damn good in pass protection the entire day, and Sam Darnold had a ton of time in the pocket. Maybe this is a run based grade that was knocking him because the run blocking wasn't really great yesterday. So he got a 62. Again, I don't really agree with that. Josh Oliver got a 60.0, comes in 3rd lowest. Josh Oliver, I don't know if he had a target yesterday. A very quiet offensive performance. He's kind of been a factor in our passing game, not so much yesterday. And apparently PFF wasn't a fan of his blocking either. Again, when you're really average per rush, it wasn't very good. We averaged 2.7 yards a carry. So yeah, there's a couple Sam Darnold kneel downs in there too. That definitely hurt that average. But again, the push just wasn't there up front by the old line. All right, let's go to the second lowest graded players. Blake Brandel with a 55.2. Yeah, Blake Brandel's going to be on this list every single week, and he should be just not a very great player. Or maybe just a player who's just struggling. How about we say that? It sounds much nicer. And then the lowest graded offensive player was Garrett Bradbury, center Garrett Bradbury, who was team man, stud of the game, 51.3. Again, I thought pass protection was pretty good all day. Just for that factor, I would have maybe bumped up these O-line grades a little bit. But a 51.3 for Garrett Bradbury is actually probably one of his better grades. But it was the lowest graded offensive player. Let's go to the highest. This is weird because I felt like these bottom 5, the scores are actually fairly high. We've seen much worse and much lower on the bottom 5, and the top 5 offensive aren't really that high. Jordan Addison came in with a 72.5. I know he had the drop on the dive, which was a really tough catch to make, but then he goes ahead and finishes for 6 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. So I don't get that at all. To me, that should be much higher than a 72.5. Cam Robinson with a 74.1. Are you shitting me? He was horrible. He was the worst lineman yesterday. Multiple penalties, the hold on the beautiful Justin Jefferson catches. I'm so pissed about. That was one of the best catches the receivers made this season, and it's not going to count because Cam Robinson held or false started or legal procedure or some shit. So 74.1 to me, absolutely mind-boggling. Absolutely, that's just criminal. It's a criminally high grade for Cam Robinson. He deserves to have about a 34.1. Unbelievable. Justin Jefferson with a 75.8, 8 receptions, 92 yards, and not really a factor until later in the game. But again, taking away coverages, opening things up for Jalen Nailor. So even when he's not getting the ball, he is affecting the game. We all know that. Right guard Dalton Reisner finished with a 75.9. Again, PFF's been really nice to Dalton Reisner lately. He seems like he's been the highest graded player on this O-line. Again, pass protection was good. Run blocking, the push wasn't great, but Reisner graded up fairly well yesterday. So that's good on him. And the highest rated offensive player was Jalen Nailor, who absolutely did ball out, made some great catches. 78.6 for a 5-catch, 81 one-touchdown performance, a guy who caught all of his targets and made some beautiful catches. I don't know where you're knocking him, what you're knocking him for, but Jalen Nailor should be higher as well. So defensive, I pretty much agree with most of those. Offense, especially like Cam Robinson, I just don't understand what the hell they're seeing there. So that's it. Those are my reactions to the Vikings PFF grades. Hit up Minigrown, promo code SKULL. Speaking of SKULL, keep yours right in your hole.